Join Kyyberi to the 1-month journey to Solver World.
Yo, let's do a short video of a recap of June. How did it go? What are my thoughts now about different softwares and programs and assistant things? And so it wouldn't be too boring. Let's play a few live tables at the same time. Let me just open them up. Just a second. And the softwares I've been using this month has been PLO Matrix, PLO Visions, and then got the membership of PLO Mastermind, which I'm going to talk about too. Let me see. No tables and running once poker, so we play party poker. I'm on a waiting list, so it's all right. We should start by recap. How did the tune go? Because the goal was to learn solver strategy for 1 month, and I think many of you can relate that the effort I was thinking I could do in a month, or the volume in studying that I thought I would do, was way higher than I actually did. So it's a good reminder once again that we tend to overestimate our abilities to study, or often if we say that, okay, I'm going to play 50,000 hands in a month, then often it's hard to achieve that because we overestimate our capabilities. But I did manage to do a lot of work, but I hope I had more time to do better. Like, let's start from PLO Matrix. Um, I took PLO Matrix for a month, and the idea was to see how much PLO Matrix, which uses solver ranges, differ from poker choose ranges. Because poker choose ranges are easy to achieve, they are free, you can import them to watch Oracle, it's easy to explore. And what I found out that they are actually very close to each other, which is a nice thing. So the one where that poker choose doesn't do is it doesn't show what to do on position versus position. They have just overall frequencies, but they don't tell what frequencies to use in what situation. And they don't give any cold call ranges, they don't give any squeeze ranges. So for just opening ranges, if you're a beginner, I think poker choose ranges are enough. And there's a video on this channel where you can see how to practice them, how to set up for Oracle. But then when we go to cold calling ranges, squeezing ranges, when we 3-bet and open a 4-bets, what hands we call, what we fold. If we open and open 3-bets, what hands we call, what we fold. So we take one step further. So everything besides just opening ranges, then PLO Matrix is a very nice program because I love the way they use the 2-card grid that's used in Hold'em to show PLO hands, which is very clever way. And I wondered why no one has thought about it before. But it's definitely nice. Let's zoom in here. Oh, we don't zoom here, we zoom here. So it's definitely nice software, and it's very easy to use. That's what I love it the most. You can check the hand, and you can see the thresholds easily. Because often we don't need to be precise, we need to know what the threshold is. I've talked about this. So I think if you get a PLO matrix, oh, we had 3 pairs here, but his turn sizing was really small. I know it was a bluff with 2 pairs. Weird bet on turn for him. So I would say that unless you are very comfortable with different preflop ranges and thresholds, then get a PLO matrix for a month and do the work. I was too lazy to take the full potential out of it. I still have a few days, so probably going to do a lot of work now. But it's definitely worth. It's a very easy way to achieve solver-based balanced prefab ranges. And when you know what they are, then it's up to you to um, adjust them according to where you play. What's your style? Do you want to be aggressive? Do you want to be more passive? But yeah, PLO Matrix is a nice software. The only downside is that when they merged with Upswing Poker, the price went up. I think the small stakes was $25 or something previously for a month, and now it has gone up a little. So it's a downside for us casual users. Zabi here, let's play poker for a while. He made pretty loose value bets. So he looks like to be a sort of recreational who's probably not thinking very deeply on strategy. And there's a quick half a pot bet. And I don't think we can beat most of his range. He could be making thin value bet with the 9, straight, flush. Not much we can do there. And then the next program or software I used in June was PLO Visions. And it's also very nice innovation from Rules Poker, Matthias, because it's a user interface to explore the solver strategy. And the very best thing about it is that you can select and easily achieve certain spot, certain boards, certain hands, or certain spot, and just see what kind of hands solver plays in what way. So you can easily explore how solver plays in certain monotone boards, how it plays paired boards, in position, out of position, and so on. And then it has the quizzes that gives you a spot and what would you do. And most people like to do things that are easy. That's why Zoom is so popular. It's not because the game is different. It's not because you get higher volume. It's for most players, the reason they play Zoom is that it's easy. You don't have to wait. You don't have to find tables. You don't have to worry about table dynamics. You don't have to worry about notes, reads, images, anything. You can just open the table, play, and sit out when you feel so. And that's why PL Visions is a great way because most players are not some nerdy high-tech guys who love exploring solver things out of complicated series of numbers and formulas and stuff. We, most of people like me, we like to have things handed out in an easy way, easy to consume. And PLO Visions does that. You can just open it up, start a quiz, and see how do you do. And the thing about PLO Visions is that I don't think it does a lot of good for people who are not already familiar how solver approaches PLO. Because when I first started PLO Visions, it got my head spinning because I didn't understand why it plays this way. And now, when I have done more work, dig deeper in the solver strategy, I think I will get more out of it in the July. Because when you understand how solver plays, you can sort of see what it would do, and then if it does something different, you can see from the hands why it did. And when you understand more about solver strategy, then PLO Visions gives you more answers. But like me, at the start of the June, when I started to use it, it just gave me questions instead of answers. So if you're looking for answers, I think PLO Visions is a good program once you've gone up the ladders of solver strategy. Otherwise, To be honest, I'm not sure it's worth the money, but once you learn the basics of solver strategy, and then you need just repetitions to reinforce the balanced decisions. Because in any skill, we need repetitions to make it more towards automatic level. When it happens in our subconscious mind, or how do we say it comes from backbone, or it's automatic, whatever word you like to use. But the only way to get the skill to that level is to have quality repetitions. And for solver strategy, PLO Visions is the only software at the moment that does that. Gives you an opportunity to get quality repetitions of solver decisions. So once you're a step higher in solver world, PLO Visions is a great tool to reinforce the strategy. Because that's also a problem in solver strategy. It's really hard to implement your game on the tables unless you get a good number of repetitions to make it automatic. So at that point, Visions is good. And then the last thing that I applied on June is PLO Mastermind. And there's a lot of stuff in it. It's not cheap. It's around $100 a month. But the hours of content is really high. Let's make a small seabed here. It's PL 25. And then a short stacker corner. Oh, the flush complete. I was about to shove any non-diamond. He has overpair or a flush, and if he has just a try overpair like kings, he's trying to check back here. But if he bets, then he has the flush. And nothing we can do about it. Or he has the six, who knows. So in Mastermind, there's quite many hours of content. I don't even know how much, but so much that you cannot go through it in a 1 month unless you are just watching mindlessly. Uh, I used some hours on my half, and I know I only scratched the surface. There's so much more I need to do there, and they have very good way to separate. There's a escape from micro section which focuses on how do we approach the micros where the rate is high, opponents are far from balanced, and then there's thin raised bots, three bet things, multi-way bots, and new content coming up. They have quizzes too, which are quite nice. So I think uh, would he be bluffing here? Call the flop, check the turn house, check, and now bets. Would he turn two pairs into a bluff? Oh, he turned one pair into a bluff. Okay, so that his call on the flop was just a float. All right. Let's give him rope then. I think I need to bet 1/3 would be better. This check is very suspicious. And now when I check call, it's quite obvious that I have the overpair. Oh, that sucks. Would he be so bad that he would actually try to bluff me away from aces? Uh, I hate it. And he just saw me make. Uh, No, he was stupid enough. I wonder that would he be stupid enough to make that bluff when in the very previous hand I made a bluff catch versus him and pretty non-standard bluff catch. And he was. So looks like he is very crazy. And on the outside table, you don't see here, we had a 3-bet pot versus him where I actually c-bet the flop and then he raised me. So he has been so aggressive that when he raised me on this table, it helped me sort of to make the call. Because the only question is how crazy is he? And on every hand, he has been aggressive versus me. And here he raised me on a board he shouldn't hit often too. Criticizing that most likely was a bluff. But yeah, he was super crazy. And here we flop. Oh, we make the straight flush. That means that it's a jackpot time. I'm not sure if there's anyone following the stream who has the money to pay the jackpot. Oh, there is. But I'm not sure if people are paying attention. But we will find out soon. Because that means that it's jackpot time. What queens are better and the jackpot triggers, and I don't even have the. I have to open my jackpot file. I don't even know how much it is. Oh, 28.10. And we actually add how much can we see did we win? Oh, 52, so it was a 100 pp win. So we add $1 to jackpot and then we're going to trigger the jackpot. So in a few seconds I will open the jackpot raffle, which means that then if you have over 100 Q-Bucks, you can join. One raffle ticket for jackpot is 100 Q-Bucks. And what's the amount that's to be won is 75% of 29.10. So if you have 100 Q-Bucks, then when the raffle opens, you type exclamation mark, then you type jackpot space and 1. That's for one ticket. If you want to buy 2 tickets, that's 200 Q-Bucks. You type exclamation mark jackpot 2. This can't be complicated. I mean, I don't know why it's so complicated. When the raffle opens, you type exclamation mark jackpot and the number of tickets you want to buy. And I'm due to delay, I cannot open the jackpot raffle as soon as the hand goes out. I have to wait a few minutes so I don't spoil it. So be patient, be prepared. It will come there. There's not many viewers on the live stream at the moment, but if there's no participants, then the jackpot just keeps where it is. And after the jackpot, we will talk about a bit more about the PLO Mastermind before we close the session and I upload this video to YouTube, which means that if you're watching it on the YouTube, it's already happened. Oh, Milan. So now the jackpot is triggered on the stream too, so let's open up the raffle. I need to keep help. Let's see if Milan can make it to time. Oh, the 10 sun. Here we open and Cookie is 3 bets and we can make a big 4 bet. And it's going to be SPR half and we flop the straight. Can we hold up versus the flush draw? That's the question. No, we don't even have to see. Oh, that's great. It's nice. Milan is going to casino. I think the casino has 1 minute time. And then we, on the jackpot raffle, there's 3 minute time. And it sucks. Milan was missing 9 Q-bucks from Canadian raffle. So a GTU approach to streams is you have Q-bucks as you watch the stream. And then you should try to gamble your Q-buck bankroll to 100 as soon as possible. Because when the jackpot recurs, if you don't have 100 Q-bucks, you cannot join the jackpot raffle. So try to get to 100 as soon as possible with the chat games. So I think it's a 1 minute delay on the casino. No, there's 3 minute delay. Oh boy. Okay, so the thing is that there were no entries. Oh, and you lost the casino anyway. We have the acro guy here. And let's see the flop. We don't have a great hand, but we can flop some straights, some random trips, and something. We have such a great price. That's not the flop we're looking for. King or 5 on the river might do it, but even then, 4-way, very impossible to win. So about PLO Mastermind, there's a lot of content and there's a lot of videos, and I like the approach, especially for the micro and small stakes, and even in higher stakes. The approach on PLO Mastermind is that the solver-based strategy with certain tweaks because of the player pool is the starting point. But then it exploits a lot about opponents. And I don't like, while playing, I don't really like my opening because Kokes is going to 3-bet. Now I'm not sure if I should just shove it. Are jacks with ace ahead of any hand? Or would that be double suited? I would. 5 would be connected. I would just get it in. But here, when we have this super acro 100 maniac on our left, then we shouldn't be opening hands we are not happy to call a 3-bet or 4-bet. Because opening like jacks there, normal open, but he's going to 3-bet us every time. So when he's 3-betting, if we are not happy to call or shove, there's no reason to open the hand. And when I made it, I realized that that's not a good open versus this super crazy. And I don't know. Let me open up Watch Oracle and just see. I will do it here so you can see what I do here. So our hand was ace jack 5, and let's say he has super wide 3-bet range of 50% because he's 3-betting almost everything. Are we ahead of even the random hand? 55-45. And if we make it slightly tighter, 30%. Oh, it's so close. Not sure. Maybe I should have just shoved and embraced the variance. Close, close, close. When I was talking about Mastermind, yeah. The question is it worth it? $100 a month. I think it is. I'm actually going to raise here because his flop sizing was a bit small, and we blocked the kings and jacks, and he can have some kind of oh fuck. But we have the card shot as a backup for the worst case scenario. Oh, he had the sixes. Yeah, it makes sense. But once we raise with the card shot, if I had just to try 2 pairs, then I would just call the turn. Oh, unlucky. But if I had called the turn, then I would call the river anyway. So the outcome would be quite the same. Should we make a move here versus King Penguin? And he's thinking for a long time and checks. And that looks like an overpair. Would be nice if we had more blockers to certain hands, but we are blocking spade with only one queen. But if he calls the flop while thinking for so long and his range is weighted towards overpairs, then betting once is not enough. Then it's just barreling turn and put the pressure on that overpair. So Mastermind, it's worth it if you're going to use it. But if you buy it and then watch a couple of videos every now and then, I'm not sure if you should invest a lot of money if you're a small stakes player. But if you put the effort and put the hours, then it's worth like $100 a month seems to be much. But if you watch one video, and the videos are short, there are few minute videos, there are 15-minute videos, there might be some longer ones. If you watch one video per day, then it's $3 per video. And if you watch 1 hour a day, then it's $3 per hour. And if some on some days you watch more, then the hourly rate is going down, and it starts to become worthy. People often just see that, oh, $100 a month, that's a lot. We have the second nuts here, and he donked the flop. I really don't think he has the nut flush here the way he played. He would lead out the river for sure. But if he raises after we make a small bet and we represent the straight on the turn, if he raises, it creates sort of nasty situation because then he could turn his set into a bluff or two pairs, thinking that we are making thin value bet with the straight. So that's what happens when you use more sizings. And he times out. Not sure what he was thinking there. Or he had nothing and he just pretended to have a tough decision. But I think that if you're like me, that you play the small stakes in a way where you are not very balanced because you don't have to be, and you just try to exploit opponents and don't give much about your strategy or how balanced you are. And then you go up in stakes on PLO 25 versus good players. It's really hard to make money. It seems that every time when you have a weak hand, they put pressure on you, and you wonder why it's so. Or you go to PLO 50 and you find that, oh, I cannot win because people just give too much aggression, and I cannot call often on turns and rivers because you play the same strategy you play on small stakes. Then to get some balance to your game, the best way is to approach solver strategy and see how solver uses certain ranges to have balance. Because this is something I've been talking with my students, and we make a lot of money on small stakes and micros with super aggressive heads up strategy. When we are in a heads up pot, a lot of pressure on the flop, a lot of pressure on the turn. But what happens is that if opponent doesn't fold, then we enter the river, or sorry, if we have a high frequency aggressive strategy on flop and turn, when we actually check the turn, we enter the river with very big range. And then if opponent knows that we are super aggressive on the turn, then when we check the river, check the turn, often our river range is really weak, and then they can give us a lot of pressure because we cap ourselves, they are not. Or we actually check the flop, suddenly they see that, okay, we don't have a really strong hand. So then we become very unbalanced, which means that a good player who knows what's happening can easily exploit us. And at PLO 50, people have the balls to raise with air when they know we are capped. They don't do that on PLO 10 or PLO 5. So it's never a problem there. So to have some balance, the easiest way is to go, in my opinion, what I've seen on any poker side is the PLO Mastermind. Let's just put here. And we still have, we are blocking the forehand. He just calls the turn. So let's represent a misdraw. And he might call with ace 10. Oh, he calls. Nice. Let me see what he had. And he had set of fives. Didn't want to raise. Made a call down. 3-bet with ace queen 10 9. And nice flop. So what I was saying, yeah, to start making your game more balanced and go one step further in the strategy, PLO Mastermind is the best and easiest way because they have all the things there you need. I haven't seen a site where there would be so much content about the subject. 2 pairs and a flush draw. We check back the flop and just call the turn. We don't want to raise and get re-raised. And then we make the second nuts on the river. He checks. We can even put here. Top pair here. An ace king 9. With the jacks, we're blocking his calling range of draws. We have a 1 spade blocker. I'm happy to bet here because if we check, there are a lot of turns that helps us. I mean, ace is the only good turn. And everything else sucks. Even a jack is not a good thing. Flopping top 2 here. Picking up the cut shot. And he had a jack 6 and goes all in because he's shorty. Ace is here. We had a 3-bet cold call. Let's 4-bet. And 3-bet folder and cold caller goes all in. And he has ace queen jack. Can we dodge everything? We can. Nice. Nice little profit there. So to wrap it up, I used should we bluff catch here? We can. People are making weird bluffs because those are kind of bluffs that I don't get. I honestly don't get because it's a multi-way pot and they bet the turn on paired board and someone calls, which means that I have something. And then the river they make a small bet with absolutely nothing, without any blockers. I just don't get. But probably there's no logic behind it. Oh boy, we get aces here. There's probably no logic. He's just pressing the buttons. And tables are dying. All the Rex don't want to play with me. And no heads up. We have 3-bet so much versus this Ezekiel that even with bad ace, let's do it. He might go bananas and kings queens 4-bet because he's tired of being 3-bet. Or we can flop the nuts. Oh, this is sick. Oh, sick session. So what I was saying, oh dude, I get good hands and I cannot explain anything. So recap, I used PLO Matrix, PLO Visions, PLO Mastermind on the June. And the question was, are they worth it? And each one of those is worth the money, but you have to know where you are in your learning curve. In the beginning, PLO Matrix is definitely worth it. PLO Mastermind is definitely worth it. PLO Visions is not worth in the beginning. But when you go up in stakes, oh no, sorry, I'm just focusing on the game. When you go up in your strategy and you want to learn more, and you have the basics of solver strategy, then PLO Visions is the awesome tool to give you repetitions. Casual top 2 pair with a not open ender. And I'm going to continue my journey to solver world in July. If I have time, I have to see my schedules and see how do I continue from there. But what would be the word? I'm not sad, but I regret for not having the possibility to put more focus and more time on PLO Mastermind, and then after that to PLO Visions. But I will do PLO Vision stream this week, probably on Wednesday or Thursday evening. I need to work for Monday and Tuesday, so there will be a PLO Vision stream, at least one more, because I like the software so much. But after that, I really don't know. I will let you guys know as soon as I know about my July, because I have a lot of work shifts on July too. I think we're going to sit out the next hand here. So nice session, $60 profits. Some of that came from the bonus I have, $5, but everything counts. We were running hot. But yeah, that's about the recap in June. Let's continue the work on July with live PLO and then focusing more on solver-based balanced content. Thanks, it was a short stream. It was just pretty much to record a video to YouTube about the recap. And we had nice session. We had the straight flush. Sorry, Milan, you didn't want it. But maybe you do it next time. Now have a fun. I will see you on Wednesday evening probably. Cheers and bye-bye.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.